Hey folks, Deano here again, this time with another bootleg Gunpla review. This is the Destiny Gundam from Gundam Seed Destiny, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, this is one of the main mobile suits from that series, from the obviously Seed line of sort of animes and Gunpla. And yeah, this is either from GAOGAO or Daban. I am unsure if they are one and the same or not. Someone in the comments can hopefully tell me one way or the other. But yeah, there were multiple sellers on AliExpress selling this guy. If it is the Daban version, then it's a few years old at this point. But quite frankly, it looks slightly better than that one. So yeah, I'm really not sure. It's called the Destiny Fighter. Number 224. So yeah, really not sure, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, this kit, quite frankly, it looks decent, but it has a few shortcomings, to be honest. Starting with the fact that I was actually missing a couple of pieces, like on the sprue. I've had that issue once before, and shock horror it was with a GAOGAO, where the plastic didn't actually inject fully into the mould. So yeah, I was missing a shoulder joint. I had to scavenge a similar piece, not the exact same piece, but a similar piece from one of the XFS Gundam seed kits. So yeah, if this shoulder falls off quite often in this review, that technically isn't a fault of the kit. That's because I'm using a different ball joint. But technically it is a fault of the kit, because it should have been included. But yeah, the overall build of this guy, like before we get into the like accessories and stuff like that, the build's decent. It's not on par with XFS or JMS, like just putting that out there right now. It does have a slightly cheaper feel to it, which is shocking considering the fact that this is one of the most expensive kits I've bought so far. It's actually mind-boggling. Like, I paid about 11-12 quid for this, whereas I usually pay about 8-9, which, I mean, it's not much in the grand scheme of things, but yeah, I'd rather pay as little as possible for these kits. You get much more expensive, I'd be as well just buying the real thing. But yeah, let's get this guy off the turntable and not look at the box, because it didn't come with one. Shock horror. Only came with the booklet. But yeah, let's take a look at the accessories. So yeah, I'm going to have to do this in two parts, because on top of everything he comes with here, which is in itself a fairly decent amount of stuff, he also comes with effect parts for his wings. So yeah, there is like a million different things here. Exaggerating just a little bit. But yeah. And one jump cut later, I forgot he had even more accessories. Yeah, since I can't fit these two into frame either, he does come with a pair of these sort of beam boomerang sort of things. Personally, I just think these look a bit daft. They're like daggers, but they're angled. Yeah, never been fond of them. They're supposed to go on his shoulders. These are very loose on the shoulders though, so personally I'll probably just be gluing them in place just to make sure they don't fall off. But yeah, these are removable, these effect pieces. So decent, decently sculpted little things. But moving on. So going from bottom to top, because we'll talk about these two monstrosities in a second. He comes with the sort of beam shield, which, much like most of the Destiny, or the Seed Gundams I should say, Yeah, they come with one of these. This is the older style one, which doesn't really have the pearlescent effect inside it, but it's still quite nice. Nice shape. This one doesn't go on the forearm, it actually goes on the back of the hand to give him some more sort of posability options with it. So very handy to have. We have the standard sort of beam shield. I didn't do much to this, but I did put a random little water slide down the bottom. Opens up, reveals some red underneath, kind of unique. Quite a small shield, all things considered, but good things usually come in small packages. Next up we have the beam rifle, which I think this is just a standard sort of beam rifle. There's nothing really special about it. In fact, I could swear I've seen it before, possibly in one of the Seed Freedom kits, but they are not on hand at the moment, so I couldn't tell you. We also get a pair of hands, 2 pairs actually. The pair of fists that's on him, which I frankly couldn't bother taking off him because they're a bit finicky. But yeah, we also have these rather unique sort of splayed open hands with a hole in the middle, and that's for this effect piece. It kind of looks like a key blast from Dragon Ball, frankly. So right up my alley. This one was broken, unfortunately, on the sprue. I had to glue the pinky in place, but can't really notice it. Still taking a point off though, if we were doing points. But yeah, it does look quite nice. I will probably end up displaying this kit with that and the sort of effect pieces on it. And lastly, for weapon accessories, we have this gargantuan looking sword with a nice beam effect in the middle. That disconnects in 3 places. Trying to do this behind a viewfinder is kind of difficult. And then it just folds over on itself to store on his back, which is handy. Really like it. The sort of almost purpley colour is a bit of a strange choice, but that's what it was in the show. And finally, we have this massive sort of beam buster rifle looking thing. It has a handle for him to hold. Quite a flimsy handle, I have to say. Plus it doesn't peg in properly at all. I'll not be using it personally, but it is there if you so wish. And just like the sword, that folds up again for some nice easy storage. This is a bit loose, that hinge at the top, so yeah, just be mindful of that. So yeah, let's quickly, we'll bring it back to the kit itself, just to see these wings in action, shall we? And there you go, that is the effect pieces on. Some time has passed since the last scene. Everything started falling off, particularly the shoulders, so they have since been glued since showing you that. But yeah, thankfully everything is now decent. Surprisingly, even with all that weight on the wings and stuff, he still stands upright. He's not really leaning forward any either. Like, he's just standing normally, which is surprising. Like, usually kits with these massive backpack wings really struggle to hold themselves up, even official ones. So yeah, very impressed with that. And also impressed with how these wings look, like, frankly. I mean, I was a bit harsh on the price of this kit at the start of the review, but the wings kind of make up for it, not gonna lie. Like, they look really good. Really, really good. But yeah, let's get those wings off now and take a look at the kit itself. And yeah, here the kit is. Oh, I should also mention, it comes with a stand. Completely forgot about that in the accessory segment. Just your standard stand. These bootlegs all tend to come with. Crotch grabber, the works. Decent little freebie. But yeah, the kit itself, while kind of looking a bit cheap in places, particularly the reds, don't seem quite the right shade of red. They're that sort of cheap, almost cheap look. Not quite like on the level of like the really cheap stuff, but you can tell it's not the same quality of plastic. Let's just say that. But yeah, obviously the kit has been panel lined. I used just the standard Gundam marker. This kit, the sprue actually said ABS plastic on it. Pore type markers eat into ABS plastic, so this kit would have literally shattered into a million pieces if I would have used that. So yeah, I do appreciate the fact that they tell you it's ABS. Official Gunpla tend to be polystyrene. Surprising to me as well. I know you say polystyrene and I expect sort of foamy stuff that you get in boxes, but but yeah, official Gunpla kits use polystyrene plastic. So yeah, the more you know. But yeah, this is a ABS, so be careful with solvents and stuff. Also makes it a harder, more brittle style of plastic, which probably doesn't help the whole cheapness look to it. But yeah, it's not terrible, to be completely honest with you. As for the water slides that I've got on here, these did not come with a kit, unfortunately. I had to, I think I pinched them off a couple of different kits. I think they were both from Gundam Seed kits, the XFS ones maybe. But yeah, I think they work on it. I always show off these kits at the absolute best they can, just to give them a fair rap. So yeah. But overall, it's decent enough in looks. There is a couple of like visible nub marks and stuff due to the plastic quality not being the best, but it's decent enough. The V-fin, unfortunately, unlike XFS and GMS, they didn't sharpen it to a point. In fact, this one seems like a straight up clone of the official, because it even had the safety marks on it, safety nubs. Yeah, not sure why, but I have already cut those off, so it's looking pretty much as good as I can get it, quite frankly. But yeah, in terms of articulation, let's get we'll take the backpack off first of all, shall we? There we go. Just so we can get a better look at this guy. I will also pay attention not to scrape off any of these water slides. Water slides are cool looking, but they are delicate. They definitely are. Most builders will say they prefer water slides. Personally, I prefer the real grade style stickers. That's just me. But yeah, in terms of articulation, the neck is kind of loose on there, but you do get some movement out it. Can look up that much, can look down that much. We will use this side because obviously this side has the wrong peg, so it can swivel all the way. Bicep rotation, there is a butterfly joint in there. If we can show that off, there we go. Even the actual like ball peg that comes with it is a little bit on the loose side. Not loose, but it doesn't pop in shall we say. Double joint at the elbow. Gets really good range, like so. This bit is rather annoying. I'm not sure if they did this to give it more range on the official, but there's a polycap that goes through that forearm. There it's there. It goes through the forearm, and it simultaneously holds the hand and the forearm together. But what always ends up happening is they push themselves apart. So over time, the forearm just falls apart. You do get swivel at that forearm, but it is very janky. I wouldn't recommend using that as a joint, quite frankly. Ball peg at the wrist. Really nice ab crunch. You can go forward that much. You can go back barely any, but decent enough. Ball joint at the waist. Get some nice pivot action there. There's that picking off. We can show this. So these side skirts are really big and cumbersome, but the designers did account for that. So the actual side skirt itself can be manoeuvred out of the way, and if you do that, you get the full splits, which is incredible. That's the difference between moving the side skirt and not moving it. So yeah, really good there. No polycaps in the legs. These are full plastic joints, which is really good. The hip skirt is held on by a polycap though. These front skirts can be moved independently if you cut them in the correct manner. Thigh rotation right there. Double jointed knees. Gets really good range because these are rather thin legs. These back bits can move ever so slightly, the thrusters. I haven't bothered to paint them just yet, but you can do it if you so choose. And the feet are probably the weakest part of this entire kit in terms of articulation. They did not fit together properly. The polycaps that are used to hold it together are also quite loose. These sort of armour pieces just flop around. They do not pop in whatsoever. You get a little bit of pivot downward with the foot. You also get some ankle pivot, mostly inward. You don't really get it outward on this kit. And yeah, like overall, it's not a terrible kit. Like, it's not as if I've been dunking on it. It's just not up to the quality I am used to from bootlegs at this point. The XFS and JMS brands have pretty much spoiled me in terms of price and quality. But yeah, when I seen this kit on AliExpress through the various sellers, I just had to get it because it's such a unique looking design. I mean, I didn't talk about it before, but that face, that sort of clown design almost, with the teardrop eyes, really cool. I really like that, to be honest. But yeah, link will be in the description if you decide to purchase it. I would say it's mostly worth it. Apart from the missing shoulder joint, I actually had fun building it. Everything did go together quite nicely. Just wish it had a bit better quality control, that's all. But yeah, guys, so before I go, let's put all his armaments on, shall we? Just to show you where those go. So at the back of the wings, does have a moving thruster, FYI. Yeah, if we go to the back of these wings, there's these two sections here which you build on, and if you pay close attention, there are two sort of stick out grooves. Those match up to these grooves right there at that bend, and you just shove it in like so. You do the exact same thing with the sword. You look for the grooves. Obviously pay attention with these bits here. These have to go in before you can do anything with them. I wouldn't recommend pushing them in all the way though, because they will get stuck. But yeah, just like that. That slots in as well. The rifle, I can't really get to it, but you can see the hole there for storage. And yeah, I really love it. Might as well put the shield on while we're at it. The actual full shield goes into these slots on either arm. That just slots in like so. The beam shield is a little bit more involved. That is, as well taking the entire arm off. So you take the yellow piece off of the back of the hand, slot that in like so. Try not to fire the yellow piece off into the sunset, and just pop that in like that. And there you go. Looks as if it's coming out of the back of the hand. So yeah, very nice. I do like it. But yeah, guys, as I said before, link will be in the description if you do wish to purchase it. I probably would still recommend it, to be honest. It's a bit more expensive than some, but I mean, at the end of the day, it does come with those really nice effect pieces. Just be careful and make sure that the sprue all arrives in one place, or one piece. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think this guy's worth it or not? Let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.